Is there anything before I talk? Coming up on QUTV, more changes will be coming to campus, this time benefiting the music department, and some people take a plunge for a good cause.
Also, we will let you know what actions you need to take before you go on spring break, and a fun event you could take part in when you return to school. Welcome to our March 2nd episode of QUTV. I'm Jeremy Culver.
And I'm Kelley. Topping our stories this week, Quincy University's North Campus will be getting new renovations thanks to an extraordinary gift. I sat down with Quincy University officials to see what changes are in store for North Campus. Last week, Quincy University announced a $1 million gift from Rich Neiman Sr. and the Neiman Foods Foundation. It's the first seven-figure gift from a living donor in QU's entire 152-year history.
I'm very excited with working with the Neimans to make this gift truly what they would like to have done with this investment. Having the chance to work with a donor with a gift of this magnitude during their lifetime is a wonderful opportunity to have this be a gift that truly exemplifies their vision for the project.
The renovations mean a lot for Quincy University and their future music department. They plan on renovating the entrance at North Campus by the chapels and creating a circle drive. They will also renovate the entryway in both chapels inside. Mockhold said they do plan on keeping the stained glass windows that are currently a part of the chapels.
Well, it gives us, for the first time, a real place to perform, an actual performance hall. We've always had to make do with the auditorium we have now, for example, is actually a lecture hall. It's not really designed for musical sound. In the past, we've had to perform concerts over in the Hall of Fame room at the gym or in the dining hall. So it actually gives us a home and a place to perform our concerts.
The chapels will undergo renovations that will create a new music performance venue and a multi-purpose reception area while retaining their historic aspects. The new facility will be named the Connie Neiman Center for Music. Rich Neiman wants to honor his wife for over 60 years and as the mother of their 8 children and honor her love of music. Both Rich and Connie attended Quincy University.
It just says something when there's a person who steps up and makes that first $1 million gift. It's like Quincy University is worthy of this level of support, and we hope we see other gifts mirror that generosity in the future.
The Neimans have worked with the project from the beginning to end. The Connie Neiman Center for Music is expected to open spring 2013.
Think you have a cool dorm room? Wait until you see our featured dorm room this week. AJ is a junior transfer student from Elgin Community College, majoring in graphic design. He is very well involved in the art community and QU's art clubs, and spends a lot of his free time painting and drawing in his room and in the 4th floor studio. His dorm room certainly reflects his artistic flair. It looks like a miniature art studio. Much of AJ's work was showcased in this year's art show exhibit.
I like to wake up in the morning with a piece of art, so I usually stay up late. Usually late night hours is when the creativity flows the best, and those epic moments of miraculous creation come through the void. So this is the place that I do that.
AJ also sells his work to students and faculty at affordable prices. If you would like to view or purchase some of AJ's work, you can contact him at the phone number or email at the bottom of your screen.
Speaking of dorms, with spring break just around the corner, you will have to know what to do to your dorm before you leave without any trouble. Before you leave, you must make sure that all of your windows and blinds are closed and all of your electrical appliances have been unplugged. All trash must be taken out of your room and all doors must be locked before you leave to enjoy your spring break. If you have thermostats in your room, make sure they are set to their lowest settings. Water faucets must also be turned off tightly.
Remember that if you are staying on campus during spring break, to fill out your spring break housing contracts down in the Student Affairs office, or else you will face additional charges and be removed from the premises. The dorms will be closed on March 3rd at noon.
With spring break coming up, a lot of students venture out with friends for a nice vacation. The idea is to have fun, but it is important to remember a few safety precautions or your trip could quickly go from fun to done. Always use the buddy system, going out at night, going to the beach, going to the ATM, and even making trips back to your room. Avoid reserving hotel rooms on the first floor, as they are easier to break into. Consider buying a $20 Go phone for the week. This prevents your iPhones and smartphones from getting damaged or stolen. Be aware of where you keep your money. Spring breakers are often targeters of pickpocketers. Drinking alcohol in the sun or hot tubs can quickly lower blood pressure and also speeds up dehydration and the chances of alcohol poisoning. Don't forget to plan a designated driver. And remember, have fun. Everyone wants to get recognized for their work at some point. This week we have a guest who was recognized for his work and also got a chance to talk about it on television. I am here with Dr. Justin Coffey, Associate Professor of History. Welcome, Dr. Coffey.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about the event that you got to participate in.
Well, in July of 2011, I attended a conference, Understanding Richard Nixon and His Era, at the Richard Nixon Library in California, and I gave a talk entitled Nixon and Agnew, which explored the relationship between President Richard Nixon and his Vice President Spiro Agnew.
Well, how did you get picked to participate in that event?
Wiley Blackwell published a compendium on Richard Nixon, and they approached dozens of authors to write chapters for the book. And since I have studied the life and times of Spiro Agnew, I was asked to write the chapter on Nixon and Agnew. And all of the people who published in that book were invited to speak at this symposium in July.
All right, well, how did you feel the event went?
I thought the event went very well. It was well attended. There were quite a number of very important scholars there. It was a very collegial affair in which the participants talked about the legacy of Richard Nixon, and people who attended the conference or later watched it learned a great deal.
Now, is there any exciting things or events that are coming up that the History Department wants to let someone know about?
On Saturday, April 21st, Quincy University, the History Department, is hosting a conference in which Quincy University history seniors and seniors from Culver Stockton College and Hannibal LaGrange will come on Saturday morning and give a talk on their senior seminar papers.
All right, thank you. If you would like to see the event in its entirety that Dr. Coffey was in, you can go to the Quincy homepage and look under the section News from the Tower. Thank you.
For the past couple of weeks, we have been talking about basketball quite a bit. Both the Hawks and Lady Hawks have had an excellent season, and there has been a lot of speculation surrounding the GLVC tournament. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. The Hawks fell 62-63 in a nail-biter against the University of Illinois Springfield. There was a lot of fan support, giving the Pepsi Arena an energetic atmosphere throughout the game. Despite the outcome of losing their last season game at home, the Hawks were ready to redeem themselves in their first game of the GLVC tournament against Drury University. The team could not get a rhythm going and eventually lost their opening round game. They were defeated by Drury University last Sunday by a score of 82-65. Senior Courtney Belger had a few words to say on the Hawks season.
Out of 10 or something like that, and got us kind of going back in the right direction. So I think when you can do things like that and you lose two key seniors at the beginning, it's pretty much a success.
The Hawks end their season with an overall record of 18-9. We say goodbye and extend our thanks to seniors Justin Brock and Courtney Belger. Brock ends his career with 1,235 points, placing him 19th among all-time scorers in Hawks history. Belger's 415 career assists lands him 4th for most assists in Hawks history. Meanwhile, the Lady Hawks are still alive, having snagged the #1 seed in the tournament and acquiring a first-round bye. They now will face Lewis University for their first postseason game this year. We wish the best of luck to them in the tournament. As basketball wraps up their season, baseball and softball are starting the early part of theirs after all their hard work and training in the off-season. The Lady Hawks softball team has already contested in 2 opening season tournaments. The team first traveled to Decatur, Alabama to go 1-3 in the UAH Charger Chill Out tournament. This past weekend, they made the trip down to Denton, Texas to go 2-3 in the Spring Fling tournament. The Lady Hawks now sit on a 3-6 record as they try to recover from losing star pitcher Tori Bunzel, as well as prepare a very young team to compete and win at a high level. Defending GLVC champs QU Hawks baseball also had a bit of a similar story for their start of their opening season tournament. The team traveled down to Florence, Alabama last weekend to play #9 ranked University of Northern Alabama in a 3-game series. Unfortunately, the team was not able to pull out a win in the series and now have a 0-3 record. The Hawks come into the season trying to recover after losing a lot of seniority and are looking to replace experience with youth. Hopefully the teams can work all the kinks out in the beginning of the season and use these opening season tournaments as a learning experience to get a few games under their belt. We are excited to get things rolling for 2 more successful Hawk athletic seasons. If you are a Cardinals or a Cubs fan or just want to see some professional baseball, SPB has the perfect event for you. They are loading up alumni and students and taking them to a Cards-Cubs game in St. Louis. The special event is being called Alumni Day at the ballpark. The tickets are $40 a piece, but the tickets are limited. They are just $50 tickets available to students, so make sure to sign up for the event as soon as possible. The trip will be April 14th, and the shuttle will begin loading at 8:30 in the morning. If you are interested in going to the game, sign up and pay for the trip at the Student Affairs office. Come cheer on your favorite team with fellow students and alumni. And that wraps up a busy week in sports.
Thanks, Carl. Many Quincy University students were freezing for a reason last Saturday as they participated in the Polar Plunge. QUTV's Colleen McCormick has more on the story.
Consistent with the spirit of service that our Franciscan University strives to promote, many Quincy University students participate in the annual Polar Plunge. Many different organizations on campus get groups together to raise money for such a great cause.
Today we are freezing for a reason. Our local philanthropy is the Special Olympics. So every year we plunge to raise money for the Special Olympics.
While volunteering and raising money, each group is also able to have some fun. Each group dresses in crazy outfits to jump into the lake. First-time jumper Christine Florido, who was part of a veteran group at the Plunge, explains a little bit more about the costumes.
Well, as a sorority, we're all dressed up as jungle animals, and we've been raising money for the Polar Plunge, which is benefiting the Special Olympics.
When it is their turn to jump, each group lines up on an inclined beach and prepares themselves for the water. The event had over 300 participants and raised over $50,000, which is the most it ever has raised here in Quincy. Congratulations to all who contributed to this great cause. For QUTV, I am Colleen McCormick.
The official number of plungers this year was 308, and the total amount of money raised was $50,244.
Quincy University continues to grow and change, and the new looks aren't just on campus. As many students and staff have noticed, QU has updated its website to a more modern look and style. The new website is controlled by QU staff, making managing the site easier and more efficient to produce new information. You can share stories and links from the site through the share links at the top of the page for popular social media sites. Students and faculty can also access their email, Moodle accounts, and directory at the designated links on the top right side of the homepage. You'll find quick links for the popular sources at the bottom of the page.
For one thing that we can do, Google Calendars. You can update your Google Calendar at your desk, and we can pull that information and put it directly onto the website. It's a great feature. The other thing that you can do now on the website is you can push and pull other information. For instance, if there's a story that you want, there's social media links to pull that information.
QU hopes the new changes give the university a modern look in the ever-changing digital age.
Many QU students paid a visit to the chapel last week on Ash Wednesday, and now they are sacrificing for Lent this year. We decided to get an idea of what some of our students are giving up and received a different view of Lent from a popular campus friar.
A lot of people give up things, like give up candy, give up whatever, bad habits, whatever. I like to look at Lent as a time of refreshment. So what can I take up? I can take up causes of caring for other people, praying for other people. Maybe I'll take up a cause in which other people are maybe not able to do freely. Encourage people to go and help the poor, serve the poor, the meals on wheels, to spend time maybe visiting the elderly. So it's taking up more time for them and less time for me. To give up maybe the gifts of the phone, the computer, the texting, and spending more time with people face to face. I think that is really important during the time. It's good any time of the year. We're forgetting to do that, and people are becoming lost because of that. So that's what I'm going to do.
I gave up Facebook for Lent this year because I wanted to get away from it and spend more time with God and on my studies and just focusing on things that mattered more than being online, talking to people and doing stupid stuff.
I'm not drinking soda, and I'm not going to eat out at restaurants or eat fast food or anything like that, except for I'm going to cheat on Sundays because that's too hard to give up for the whole time.
As of current, I'm not really giving up anything specific, but I'm just trying to eat a lot healthier and work out about 6 days a week.
That is all we have on this episode of QUTV. We would like to thank you for joining us and wish everyone a fun and safe spring break. For QUTV, I'm Kayleigh Kelley.
And I'm Jeremy Culver. We would also like to inform you we will now be moving to a bi-weekly schedule. So join back in 3 weeks as we continue to bring you the news by the students, for the students.